Well, it's been a while. Gotta be honest, I lost my little my motive, my drive there for a while. So I apologize. I'm back now. I found it. I don't know what I was doing or what I was thinking, but yeah, today round bale blind build. So this is gonna be fun. I'm just heading to go pick up some supplies right now. Yeah, pretty excited about this. This is really gonna put the edge on the whitetail. Gosh, I've been chasing the whitetail for 2 years on this field, and I can sit around the edge all I want, but it's just right place, right time on the edge. Building this round bale blind is gonna put me right in the pinch point in the middle of the field where I need to be. Where I've needed to be for the last 2 years. So yeah, let's go get the material. So I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty hard to maintain personal life, work life, and film everything, produce something for an audience. But I'm easing into it, getting used to it, getting my drive. My drive is back, so couldn't be happier. But yeah, it can be hard. A lot of time is needed. That's okay. I thought to myself, what do you really want? And over the last couple weeks, I really want to do this. So let's get to the round bale blind. This is kind of a do-it-yourselfer kind of plan. Just arrived at the yard here. Pick up some materials. I'll go over them and go over the basic plan with you guys. So if you guys want to build them, and yeah. So my base, I guess the skeleton system of the round bale blind is going to consist of concrete mesh. Now I think you could probably go to your local construction company or concrete company, even construction store, and get you some of this. This has been here for a long time. Gonna use this mat, make it into a nice bubble. Got a few pieces of this one and one over there. You can use for the sides. The main skeleton of it, I'll reinforce it as I go, wrap it in poly, and then landscape depots. They got that, what do you call it? An erosion kind of fiber that looks similar to hay. So I'll wrap that with it too, so it'll be somewhat weatherproof, waterproof, and look like a round bale blind. But I'll get in particulars of the base and how I'm gonna reinforce and build it. So we'll get everything in the truck, bring it back home, get the tools out, start building. Just off just a little bit. That way, like 2 inches. Yeah, I found it. Well, just up a bit. Not bad, second time. Eh? We'll get there. Well, right now, got the basic supplies. The wood, gonna use for my base. to pinch the wire once it's folded around, and yeah, the wire for the shell. Got some tie wire and some screws for the base. I'll explain more when I get home and as I build this, so let's get home. Alright, so my basic plan for round bale blind here. The 2x6 and 2x4 I got laying around, and the ones on the back of the truck are pretty well gonna make my base. Just a square open base, and why I'm leaving it open I will explain in a minute, but that's basically the concept. The wires from the mesh are gonna get sandwiched in between two layers of the 2x6. So once it gets sandwiched in, should extend that. My artistic skills aren't the greatest, but I think I can generally explain it. So that's the tail ends on the mesh. There's gonna be another box or frame, a 2x6 and 2x4 on top of that. And then I'm gonna end up curling these up on top of that frame. Then from there, once I got my, oh boy, my base built, oh yeah, just go right off the paper. I think you guys can get this though. I'm gonna take another piece, cut it with a grinder out of that mesh, and make my sides cut my door. So with the fabric I'm gonna use, I haven't quite thought how I'm gonna clip it together, whether I'm just gonna use some carabiners or just get a zipper made of some sort. Yeah, the door will be here, entrance. So why I'm making it a false bottom is if I gotta move. If the deer aren't coming and I gotta move, I'm gonna install a few little handles in here that I can pick it up and walk through the field with it. Well, that's the idea. I don't know how well it's gonna work or if it's gonna be quiet or so. I don't know, it's just an idea. I'm gonna go for it, see if it works. Either way, it's gonna be easier to unload and load on beginning of or before season and after season. How I'm gonna determine this measurement, my width and my height, is I'm gonna get my old man to sit on a chair and pretty well pull his bow back. I can roughly guess. I mean, I'm about 6'4", he's about 6 feet. When you pull your bow back, obviously it's about 2/3. Well, your arm length stretched out is the same length as your height, right? So if you're pulled back, bow in hand, obviously you want some wiggle room to move around. Should be about 2/3 of your overall height. So if I was to make this, 5 feet, 5.5 feet wide here, and sitting down on a chair, well, your chairs are usually about 20 inches off the ground, and then from your butt to your head, well, whatever you are, that's what you should make. A little headroom. Obviously the packs will be just beside you. I'm gonna make this wide enough for 3 people to sit in. Possibly have 2 windows. That'll be just kind of a flap system. Open them up, camera guy in the middle, shooter and shooter. Other than that, it'd be tight. I don't want to make too big. I think 3 people's plenty of room, plenty big enough. So comment down below. Tell me how good my artistic skills are. I think they're pretty shitty. But hopefully I explained it enough. This is kind of my general plan and idea. I'm sure along the way I'll change things and I'll let you guys know, do this or don't do that. Doesn't work. So, yeah, so I'm going to have a thin layer of poly around the outside. 2, 1, make it weatherproof and hold our human stink in there. Nothing worse than, a wind coming through that round bale blind and carrying your scent down the field and busting all the deer out. So I think poly will contain it for the most part. Obviously with the flaps and the open windows, shooting windows, there will be a bit of a breeze going through, but if I can mitigate that as small as possible, perfect. So I'm throwing up the idea to make an entrance on both sides, just in case you get to the field late or for some odd reason there's deer on, this side of the blind, so you can sneak in this way or vice versa. So I'm still tossing that up in the air. For ridgeability, I think once this is all standing and tied with tie wire very well and tight, it should be pretty rigid. If I find for whatever reason it's not, I'm gonna attach little ropes and throw them down into the ground with just a little peg. It's kind of like a fly on a tent. Kind of ideal. And if I still need more, if I find it's too light and the wind's blowing it around, I'm going to core holes in the base where I can put another 4 or however many pins to put into the ground. Obviously, at that point, I will not be able to pick up and move across the field. So this is kind of a learning thing. Trying to keep this as basic and do-it-yourself friendly as possible. So that's the plan. Now let's try and go build it. All right, first things first, we need some tunes. So let's get the tunes rolling. So I guess if you're building a round bale blind yourself, you may want to consider what you can haul it out with. I'm going to be able to use this trailer here. I guess that's kind of a few perks working for a construction company. 8 feet wide and probably 5.5 feet long. Should give plenty of room for 3 people. So got the trailer to haul it in. Perks of being in construction, I guess. That being said, I'm also doing this on a budget that I can do as cheap as possible. So let's get this all cut up, get our first layer of the base done and screwed together, and then we'll start building our dome. So as of right now, I've made my base 4 feet by 8 feet wide. Because it's gonna dome, it should give me that 5.5 feet I'm looking for at draw length, I guess, or draw height, wherever you're sitting. So should be plenty of room for 3 chairs and some of your gear, your lunch and whatnot, bows. So I'll get this all screwed together. Start laying the mat around and contemplating what I'm doing for doors on both sides or just one side, and going from there. So I guess the biggest issue I have right now is this mat is bent, so trying to keep a nice circle, that's probably going to be my biggest challenge. I've got it tacked for right now. I'm going to try and work out this line of kinks, and try and get a better dome on it, but once I get that kind of fixed up and the rest of it tacked down, I'll start working on the walls here. I'll cut the doors after once I decide what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so let's get it straightening. So right now, got this piece set up for an end wall. I'm gonna just start slowly bending the cage up, tying it as I go to get the preferred height that we want. Hopefully it'll stiffen enough, and then after that we'll decide how we're gonna cut the doors and where we're gonna cut the doors. But for right now we're just gonna start tying and hopefully get our desired shape and height here. So we'll throw you in a little time lapse again. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Here I'm talking to the camera, working away, and next thing I know, look over at the camera, the battery is dead. So, I haven't got too far though. Well, I got everything tied. Got my somewhat of a circle here. It is by no means a perfect dome or circle, but I really don't think the deer care. They're not gonna come over and criticize me. And if they do, all the power to them. I wish they would, because I'll be waiting. And so will my boy and everybody else. But just gonna wet down the ground here since it's very dry here in this part of the country. We're in a pretty good drought right now. So just gonna spray down the ground before I start sending sparks and grinding off all the excess here. And once that's done, we'll show it again. Alright, that's all cut, so just gonna watch for fire for here a bit, probably wet it down again. End up tying all these loose ends, pushing them over, tying them together, just more rigidity, if I can even talk today. Yeah, other than that, I'm gonna cut the doors, and I've decided against being able to pick it up to move it. So I'm gonna build another kind of just a box, more or less. So 4 posts and then another ceiling in it, just to help with the weight of the cloth material. Why I've decided against it? Well, it's fair chase, and to me it's not very fair that I can pick up a blind, shuffle it through the field, set it down and shoot the deer, right? I gotta give them a fair chance. So, and even at this, you know, round bale blind, that's, to me, that's pushing it for ethics. So this is about as far as I'm gonna go with it. Tied all over. I gotta wait for the material to show up to wrap it. That should be this week, maybe early next week or the week after. So yeah, I'll finish just buttoning this up, but that's pretty well wrapped, almost. So got some little bit with the base to do, the doors, push all the ends over. Not a whole lot to it, pretty simple. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Like, subscribe. See you in the next one. So should we do like a sweet thumbnail in here?
Yeah.
Do like a wild animal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You still gotta cut the doors in, but build a box.
Yeah.
Ow. I didn't quite make it tall enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Yeah.
Cheese! Yeah? Getting pictures?
Yep.
Wild animal! Ah! Good? Okay. Perfect.